I think, in Leviticus you hear God saying repeatedly, I am holy, therefore my people must be holy, or therefore you must be holy. Holiness means being set apart, but you're being set apart for something. And you're being set apart to display something. And this is both corporately, this is displayed both corporately in Israel as well as individually in the Israelites. And that of course applies to us as believers as well, because we are also believers. The people of Israel was set apart to be distinct from the peoples around them. How are they distinct? They're distinct in the way they worship God, what they think about God, who God is, and the way they actually live out their daily lives is distinct from the world. The people in the land of Israel at the time, the Canaanites, were pagan people who were worshiping false idols and doing things that were really displeasing, to say the least, to God. And sacrificing their own children and all kinds of things. And God has called His people to be separate from that, and one of the ways they do that is to live their life differently. That's part of the reason for the holiness codes and the cleanliness codes, is that their lives are lived in distinction from the rest of the world. They're lived with God in mind. God is the referent. It's with righteousness, the righteousness that God Himself displays. So the question of how do we display God's holiness is that He displays His holiness not only in creation, but through creation, which is, of course, through us, His people. God displays His holiness through God's people, in the way we live, in the way we think, in what we say and how we say things. So it's a strange thing, and it might just seem, it's ironic that God would use us, sinners, even after we're saved, that is, after we're justified. He still uses us and chooses to use us and include us to live out His character, to display His holiness and His character through our lives. And that's why it's so important that we focus on Christ, because it should be that in our lives that Christ comes through our lives. It's Christ's character that comes through our lives. And so when people see us, they don't see us, hopefully they see God. They see Christ's presence. And again, we are the living tabernacle, and Christ dwells in us in the sense that He lives through us, and the power of the Holy Spirit through us as well.